Hi there, and welcome to Naturally Recovering Autism. I am your host, Karen Thomas, and I want to thank you so much for being here and being a proactive parent and getting the resources that you need to let your child live their most fulfilling and independent life possible. When my own son was diagnosed with autism, I was told to drug him and try behavioral therapies, and there was nothing else that we could do for him but manage his symptoms the rest of his life. But I didn't want to do that. Fortunately, my background in craniosacral therapy of now 30 years let me know that the brain can and does heal, but I didn't know that much about autism. What I did know is that I didn't want to just mask the symptoms with dangerous drugs. I wanted to find the causes and work with them naturally. And fast forward, it took me a decade and a lot of time and effort, but today my son is no longer diagnosable with autism after being told it could not happen. So I'm here to share with you valuable resources to save you the time and some of the expense that I had to spend to figure it out, and to help you let your child lead to their best results possible. Every child's level of recovery is different, but we know that children who couldn't sleep through the night are sleeping now through the night and happily. Their immune systems are now strong where they were once sick all the time. Children who were nonverbal and their parents were told they could never speak are now speaking. Children who were getting D's and F's in school are getting A's and B's, and those that were so anxious all the time and couldn't sit still and were uncomfortable in their own bodies are now calm and happy and relaxed, and they're leading fulfilling and independent lives with friends. This is what we want for our kids. So I'm here to share the resources with you so that you can get the best results for your child, the best possible. And you can start that right now with my free download of the top 7 foods to eliminate beginning today, of the top foods that are the most inflammatory and toxic that are contributing to those physical and behavioral symptoms of autism that your child is having. They're making his life uncomfortable. So you can get that right now at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/7 foods. And feel free to share that with anybody you know who would be interested. And I will also link to it in today's show notes. There's, of course, a lot more than diet, but this is something you could start doing today that will begin to reduce those symptoms. And I'm happy to share everything I can with you. So right now, let's dive into today's episode. Today, I'm here to answer the question for you: is fluoride really safe? There's been a lot in the news about this lately, a lot of new research out, and I want to come to bring you the education and set it straight. So we're going to talk about the truth about fluoride today. And I also, importantly, want to bring you some science involved. So fluoride has long been promoted as a critical ingredient in the fight against tooth decay. It's added to public water supplies, found in most commercial toothpaste, and endorsed by many dental organizations. But growing research raises valid concerns about fluoride toxicity, and many health-conscious individuals are choosing to go fluoride-free. In this episode, we'll break down what the science really says about fluoride, why some experts are calling for caution, and the potential health benefits of switching to fluoride-free products and water. So what is fluoride-free and why is it used? Fluoride is a naturally occurring mineral known for strengthening enamel and helping prevent cavities. Since the mid-20th century, it's been added to drinking water and oral care products as a public health measure to reduce tooth decay, so they told us. But here's the thing: more fluoride isn't better, or isn't always better, and studies suggest that long-term exposure can come with unintended health risks. Most of us grew up being told how important and beneficial fluoride is for our teeth, and we were told that it was important, that if we didn't brush with fluoride, that our teeth weren't going to be strong. And because of this, it is much harder for a lot of people to accept this new downfall. There are over 25 human studies and 100 animal studies connecting fluoride to brain damage and lowered IQ. Several peer-reviewed studies have shown fluoridation to weaken bones. Dental fluorosis is when the tooth enamel becomes discolored and is due to fluoride disrupting the enamel during development. However, dentists will often tell us it's because of poor hygiene. So please recognize that the dangers of fluoride are real. What they did not tell us is that fluoride damages a part of the brain called the hippocampus. which has no blood-brain barrier to protect it. And the hippocampus is responsible for emotions, behavior, learning, memory, and spatial awareness. It's a primary part of the brain that is also affected by those with Alzheimer's. We absorb fluoride from dental treatments, brushing or rinsing with fluoride, and drinking water with added fluoride. And when aluminum and fluoride are combined, as in fluoridated water in an aluminum pan, or using fluoride toothpaste from an aluminum container, the toxic effects are heightened. So let's talk about scientific concerns about fluoride toxicity. Neurotoxicity and cognitive development. There are two factors of fluoride toxicity that are the greatest concern. The first is genetic damage. Damage to DNA repair enzymes affects the reproductive cells and is inherited by our children. The second factor of great concern to us is fluoride's effect on the brain. Common signs are difficulty in thinking, poor memory, and fatigue. And for the developing brain, in a fetus, fluoride crosses the blood-brain barrier, accumulates, and then spreads to all areas of the brain. A 2012 Harvard meta-analysis of 27 studies found that children exposed to high levels of fluoride in drinking water had significantly lower IQ scores. In 2019, a study published in JAMA Pediatrics linked higher fluoride levels during pregnancy to lower cognitive scores in children. These findings have led many researchers to question whether fluoride exposure during developmental years may have lasting effects on brain health. And more recently, on January 6, 2025, a meta-analysis on children's IQ was published again in JAMA Pediatrics. The study was conducted by scientists from the NIH National Toxicology Program. The NTP started this work in 2016. As with research documents intended for publication, the NTP fluoride monograph and meta-analysis underwent rigorous scientific evaluation. The evaluation process has involved many steps. The draft fluoride monograph received critical feedback during peer review by the National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine, and from other external experts as well, and from experts in several federal health agencies. After modifications were made, additional evaluation following a rigorous scientific framework was conducted by subject matter experts organized by the NTP Board of Scientific Counselors. This document is now complete and available for reference, which you will find in the show notes that I will put for you at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/218. This is episode 218. The findings of the study states a meta-analysis of 74 epidemiological studies examining the link between children's IQ and fluoride exposure found that the more fluoride pregnant women and young children are exposed to, the greater the decrease in a child's IQ. So the question arises, if studies beginning in 2012 showed these same findings, then why now, 13 years later, are they still not widely informing the public? This is why I'm here to educate you about these critical findings, and additionally, again, knowing on January 13th, 2025, there were lawsuits actually filed against multiple children's toothpaste brands, deceptively marketing their products which contain fluoride as extra safe for children. Another thing to note about fluoride disruption is thyroid disruption from it. Excess fluoride may interfere with thyroid function. A 2018 study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that fluoride exposure was associated with altered thyroid hormone levels, particularly in iodine-deficient individuals. The thyroid regulates energy, mood, and metabolism, so even subtle disruptions in this can affect overall health and wellness. Dental and skeletal fluorosis. Too much fluoride can actually damage teeth and bones, and dental fluorosis, a condition caused by overexposure to fluoride during childhood, results in white spots, discoloration, or pitting on the teeth. Skeletal fluorosis, although rarer, involves bone weakening and joint pain and is a concern in areas with heavily fluoridated water supplies. Interestingly, studies have shown that cities with added fluoride in their drinking water have equal or higher levels of dental cavities than cities without fluoridated water. The added fluoride did not reduce the number of cavities for those populations. Unfortunately, the body accumulates the toxin and absorbs up to 50% of each exposure in its tissue. The benefits of going fluoride free, let's talk about that. We can avoid toxic buildup. By choosing fluoride-free toothpaste and filtering your drinking water, you reduce the risk of long-term fluoride accumulation in your body, especially if you live in an area with fluoridated water or consume a lot of processed foods made with tap water. A quality water filter is essential, and most filters do not filter fluoride properly at all. Fluoride, because it's really, really difficult to get that molecule out of it. So I'm going to link to a water filter in the show notes for you, again, at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/218, where there will be a quality water filter for you to know that will filter fluoride out. So you also want to protect sensitive individuals and people with thyroid conditions, kidney issues, chemical sensitivities, and children may be more vulnerable to fluoride's effects. Going fluoride-free is really a simple step toward minimizing unnecessary exposure. Let's talk about some natural oral health support. The same fluoride most people brush their teeth with daily is extremely toxic, and then again, cities are adding it to the drinking water. So we're putting it in our mouth and even drinking it, and we know it's a neurotoxin. My children don't use toothpaste that contains fluoride, neither do I. And it's important to know that our teeth are very, very healthy, as are many people's that don't use fluoride. Fluoride-free toothpaste often contains natural ingredients like xylitol or herbal extracts that promote oral health without any synthetic additives. And these options can help reduce plaque, strengthen enamel, and freshen your breath without even any risks of the fluoride. So one brand of xylitol toothpaste that I will note for you in the show notes and link to for you, it has been shown in studies to be 72% more effective than fluoride in fighting cavities. And again, I'm going to link to that for you in the show notes. There are environmental benefits as well. Fluoride runoff from industrial and agricultural sources can accumulate in soil and waterways, affecting wildlife. Opting out of fluoride can also be a conscious choice for the planet. So how to make the switch to fluoride-free? Choose a trusted fluoride-free toothpaste with natural remineralizing agents that, help to strengthen your teeth without the dangerous effects. Install a water filtration system that removes fluoride. Again, that I've already mentioned. I will link to one in the show notes for you. Check labels on mouthwash and supplements and processed foods to avoid hidden fluoride exposure. And speak with a holistic or integrative dentist who supports fluoride-free oral health strategies. They're known as biodentists. So you want to see the word biodentist with somebody that you see. They will not use fluoride in their practices. Emerging research calls into question the safety of chronic widespread exposure to fluoride, especially during early development. Choosing to go fluoride-free is a personal decision, but one that can be grounded in science and a commitment to long-term health. So now you have scientific data giving you some education. I'm always here to educate so that you can make informed educational decisions for yourself and your family. So I hope that this has been helpful and educational for you. And hopefully you're going to be considering your choices and reading labels and making certain that you make healthy choices to keep yourself and your family healthy into the future. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope that this was helpful for you, and I appreciate what you're doing for yourself, for the planet, and for your children. Absolutely. They are our future. We have to remember that. So it's important we take good care of them, and we are the ones to do that. So thanks again for being here. I appreciate everything you're doing, and I will see you next time.